There's only one moment where I told like a joke or a pun that I think back on. I'm like, God damn, that's probably the best joke I've ever told. And it was recently. I was driving in my car
What is it?
going down I-4, and there was an advertisement for Boardwalk Burgers, which is like this little shitty burger spot where like homeless people, I guess, throw them on a grill or something. And the sign said, "Come try the new Boardwalk Burgers." And I saw it out of the corner of my eyes, and I was like, Boardwalk Burgers, more like board burgers, because the burgers aren't having fun. And I loved it. It was my favorite joke I've ever told.
I don't get it.
Thank you for joining us.
Because
Yeah, this is
The
why
burgers-
you tune in, boys.
the burgers weren't
You got
having
the
a good time. They were upset.
Place here.
I gotta
So
earn my
here's the-
place.
The subject, the best joke you've ever told. I'll start. So, I was driving down I-4 one time, and there was a sign for Boardwalk Burgers. It was a Boardwalk City Burgers joint, whatever. They have homeless men cook burgers and stuff on their grills and everything. And I saw this sign, and I turned to my girlfriend. I said, "Boardwalk Burgers, more like board burgers, because the burgers aren't having any fun." And it's by far my magnum opus of comedy.
That's a funny one. I'll give you that one.
Yeah,
No, it's
a
not,
knee
don't.
slapper, isn't it?
That's pretty.
If I was going to describe it as anything, I would say knee slapper, yeah.
It's a gut buster. You have to. Okay, I'll
We're
bust
breaking
out.
it out early.
I'll bust out the big guns. So on the official podcast here, I usually tell the guests what I consider the magnum opus of comedy. It's a joke that I told to my girlfriend not too long ago. It was only a few months ago. Are you prepared to hear it?
Yes, I'm
Yes.
sitting. I'm ready.
Okay, it's a real gut buster, so just be ready. We were driving down I-4, which is a road in Florida, and I saw a sign for a restaurant called Boardwalk Burgers, Boardwalk City Burgers, and it was, just a standard restaurant. They have some homeless people throw some burgers on the George Foreman's, and I came up with a real zinger, a real fucking humdinger, Sean. I'll tell you, it's one of the best things I've ever said in my life. So I saw this, and I said, Boardwalk Burger, more like board burgers, because the burgers aren't having any fun. It's a doozy. It's you have to think about it. I'll break it.
Yeah, I don't think I think I didn't get it.
It's all right.
That's why I'm not laughing.
No, it's
Sorry.
probably because it's just such a good joke. It takes it out of you.
It's an
It's not
acquired
because I think
taste.
you're stupid. It's because I didn't get it.
Yeah,
No,
it's-
Charlie,
gotta break it
I
down.
think you might want to tell it again.
No,
to
I've-
really get the point home,
I think you just need to explain it. You see, because burgers, they're dead cows and stuff. Like you put them on a grill.
Yeah,
They
sure.
can't be having any fun. And boardwalk, it's not too far from board. Board.
And then my follow-up question is, have you heard Charlie's joke?
No, but I'm ready for it.
Christ. Oh God. Well.
That reaction gets me even more excited for the joke.
Well, it's the guests love this one. We've yet to have a guest come on here that hasn't just busted up laughing. It's a real knee slap.
They've always
So
wanted to
doozy.
come back just for the joke.
I have to restrain
Yeah.
myself from laughing at this point.
Many people come to this podcast just to hear this joke. You're very lucky, Ray. I don't say it often.
Okay.
To put it lightly. So this happened pretty recently. I was driving down I-4, which is it's an interstate. It's a long road, and I was with my girlfriend, and I saw a sign for this restaurant called Boardwalk Burgers. It's just a Boardwalk Burgers place. Homeless people slap some patties on the grill, and I saw this and I said, Boardwalk Burgers, more like board burgers, because the burgers aren't having any fun.
Wow, he actually kind of laughed.
Did you say that out loud, or did you just say it to yourself?
Well, I'll get to that in a minute. Did anyone else hear the giggle, or am I imagining
I'm
that?
gonna play that over and over again.
We have that
laughing.
recorded.
Amplify that and make it sound like he just busted up laughing and the mic just got so
Just-
fucking
And then
used
loop
to
Just
it
it.
put
for
a
the
laugh
rest of the
track.
episode.
That's
Anytime Ray
That's
talks, just that giggle. That's it.
That's the first time anyone has ever laughed at that joke, including my girlfriend. But I have truthfully, wholeheartedly thought that is the best joke I've ever told in my life.
I think
until I brought it to here.
People just need to get a better sense of humor. I thought it
I
was
agree,
good.
right? It's a thinking man's joke.
It
It's
is.
so many
I
layers.
really had to ponder on it for about 3
Yeah.
milliseconds, and then it hit me.
Can you tell that joke
Like
on
a
your next
funny
stream?
onion.
I will, yeah. If I lose all my subscribers, it'll be worth it, though, because I'm able to spread that joke to more people.
Sorry, go ahead, Dave.
No, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Charlie usually has really good questions for our guests. Charlie, you want to lay one of your, or do you want to tell him your joke?
What? Jeez, so many options on this one. Well, I don't know.
Ray, please do not give away the punchline. It's very important.
This is widely considered the zenith of comedy, Davey. So consider yourself lucky. That
I gotta mute my mic.
Dude.
I don't tell it often, and when I do tell it, it gets the crowd roaring. Let me tell you. So this happened not too long ago. I was driving down I-4, which is a road here in the Florida area, and I saw a sign for this restaurant called Boardwalk Burgers. You know, just a standard burger joint. You know, homeless people slap some patties on the grill, serve them up, some good stuff, good old wholesome fun. And I was driving by, and I saw their light up sign, and I said, "Boardwalk Burgers, more like board burgers, because those burgers aren't having any fun." That's 2 laughs in a row. Is anyone?
Jesus Christ!
I had to mute my mic. I was laughing the whole time.
Well, this is a rare occurrence.
These are the politest guests we've ever had.
These are my favorite guests ever.
You know, it's almost a dad joke, and I get it.
Well, I have a more important question then. Adam, have you heard Charlie's joke?
Oh, Christ.
Maybe I have, but I don't. I'm
Charlie
not
just
sure.
had to wake up from his fucking slumber.
Yeah, really, Charlie out of his coma.
That's not true. I was just listening.
We unfreeze him cryogenically whenever he has to tell this joke.
I'm like the Demolition Man of comedy here. Like I'm a man of one joke that they froze me, and I need to come back in the future to tell the joke, and they put me back under. You're gonna really need to prepare yourself for this one, Adam. It's a doozy, to say the least.
I'm prepared.
All right.
I'm prepping myself right now. I know you can't see. There's no video, but I'm literally prepping myself.
That's good. That's good to hear. It's a thinking man's joke, so you gotta really be thinking here. All right, I'll go ahead and start. Enough.
Okay, stop doing an Andrew and get to the point.
Enough hyping it up. I'm just proud of this joke, Kaya. All right, just let me have this.
Okay.
So this happened not too long ago. I was driving on I-4. I don't know if you're familiar with Florida terrain, but I-4 is an interstate out here. And I was driving with my girlfriend, and I saw a fucking sign for a restaurant. It's called Boardwalk Burgers, just your standard burger joint. You know, homeless people throw some patties on the foremans, just a good old time. And I was driving by this, and with my quick wit, just a real sharp zinger, I said, "Boardwalk Burgers, more like board burgers, because the burgers aren't having any fun."
You know, this is no different than living with Mark English, who edits the videos for my gaming channel. If anybody's familiar with him, he's full of shit like that, honestly. So I'm kind of used to it. I'm a little desensitized.
Hang on, sorry, Jackson. Charlie, you have a joke to tell, I believe.
God, Jesus Christ.
Now we get a face cam. Are you guys recording video? Because those would be perfect. We get a face cam reaction to the joke.
Ooh, that would be good, actually.
We are not recording video, but we can if you want.
Oh, that would be amazing.
For the sake of my ego, don't.
Just film the screen.
Do we... Jackson, do we have that kind of technology?
Yeah, we can put it in the video cast.
Oh
the what
God,
now?
The video.
On the video,
right.
Kaya.
All right, we're recording.
We're recording.
Charlie, tell your joke.
Jesus, it's just a tradition with the podcast. Back when we first started it, I came home and I was bragging about a joke that I told, and I thought it was just the magnum opus of comedy, just like the true zenith of humor. And since then, everyone's just been just cracking up about the joke. Every guest we've had on has just loved it. It's a real knee slapper.
Mm-hmm.
So pretty much every time we have a guest on, they make me tell the joke to them just to give a good old hoot and a holler out of them. So you ready?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. So this is a true story. A real true and blue story. I was driving down I-4, would have been about 3 months ago now. I was with my girlfriend, and I saw a sign for a restaurant called Boardwalk Burgers. Just a standard Boardwalk Burgers joint, you know, homeless people slap some patties on the grill, serve them up. It's just a good old wholesome time. And I saw this, and I said, "Boardwalk Burgers, more like board burgers, because the burgers aren't having any fun." That's about the reaction we get every week.
Are we on a podcast right now?
Waiting for the
Is someone typing in the background?
probably
Were they
Elise.
like?
I think it's Elise
Is
typing.
someone stenographing this for
No, it's
future
okay, it's all right.
generations?
Elise is working. She's working.
Oh, she's actually being productive with her life.
Yeah, she's not talking about
it's a
porno.
it's a thinking man's joke. I understand. It usually
Maybe you
goes
should
over
tell
people's-
No,
Elise
no,
the joke.
it's
Yeah.
one of those reactions I have where I go, "Oh, that's funny."
Charlie, speaking of fresh ingredients and food and fuck you, why don't you tell Ethan your joke?
Oh God.
What's your joke, Charlie?
Yeah, Charlie. Us Australians love the joke. Please tell the joke.
Joke.
Oh man. All right. Well, Ethan's heard the rumors about world's best joke.
Blue Apron.
This is
They're not
bigger
a
than
joke.
This is a true story, Ethan. You're not going to believe it when you hear it, but trust me, this actually happened. And when it happened, I knew right away this was something special. This is the apotheosis of comedy. This is what comedy has built towards. So, a couple months ago, I was driving down I-4, which is a road in my area, and I was with my girlfriend, and I saw a sign for this restaurant called Boardwalk Burgers. It's just not a special restaurant, just your standard Boardwalk Burgers joint. You know, homeless people slap some patties on the grill, just some good wholesome fun. And I saw this sign and I said, Boardwalk Burgers, more like board burgers, because the burgers aren't having any fun.
Oh.
It's a good one.
It's a zinger,
Yeah.
right? It's a knee slapper. You get it?
Yeah, you should definitely tell that everywhere you go, I reckon.
He sees the genius.
He
behind
does.
it.
He already does.
Yeah.
It's completely okay. Felix, we this podcast is a comedy podcast, and I think Charlie has a joke to tell you.
Oh man.
Great.
Well, Felix,
Ooh, boy.
you make a lot of comedy videos. I mean, that's kind of what you built yourself on. But I'm sorry to say, this joke puts you out of business. If the very first laugh from cavemen aeons ago was the beginning of comedy, this is the end. This joke is perfection that I don't think could ever be matched. And it's a true story, believe it or not. So
Okay.
are you ready?
I'm ready.
I don't think you understand just the magnitude of this joke. Before I tell it, I want to tell you one more time. This joke is pure perfection. All right. So, I was driving down I-4 with my girlfriend. I have a girlfriend, Felix. I don't know if you knew that. She kicked my mother out recently. And we were driving down...
Oh, okay.
We were driving down... No, you kicked my mom out. We were driving down I-4. And I-4 is a road here. It's the interstate. And we were driving down there, and I saw a sign for a restaurant called Boardwalk Burgers. You know, it's just your standard old restaurant, your old burger joint. You know, homeless people slap some patties on the foremans. It's just some wholesome good time. And I saw this sign. And with my razor-sharp wit, with my genius, my intellect, I said, Boardwalk Burgers, more like board burgers, because those burgers aren't having any fun.
Bravo. Was that the joke? I just want to make sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was
Okay,
about to say,
that was
Charlie, Did
amazing.
you notice he snickered because he thought it was going to keep going, but then it stopped and he got confused.
I did thought it was going to keep going.
It's a thinking man's joke.
Talking about mundane silence. Charlie, give him the joke.
Oh my god. Are we busting it out right now?
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember the last time we did it.
It's been a while. Well, Zach, there's a joke of my own creation that I tell on this podcast quite often to guests, because most of the guests we come on here, they like to have a hoot and a holler, on pretty much like yourself.
Sure.
So I tell them what I believe is the apotheosis of comedy. And it's a true story, Zach. It's nothing that I'm making up. This isn't me just pulling shit out of my ass. This actually happened in real life.
Yes.
Just like the chimpanzee monkey and all that shit. This is real. So, I was driving down I-4. This must have been going on a year now. We've been telling this joke for a while. It's been about a year now. And I was driving down I-4 with my girlfriend, and I saw a sign, an advertisement for this, local little family burger joint called Boardwalk Burgers. Nothing too out of the ordinary, nothing extraordinary at all, just your standard old burger joint, homeless people slapping some patties on the foremans, just a wholesome good time. And with my razor-sharp wit, Zach, I looked at this sign, I looked at it, I analyzed it, and I said, Boardwalk Burgers, more like board burgers, because those burgers aren't having any fun.
Yes, and now, did anybody react to this, or was it you? What was the reaction? What was the general reaction to this this little bit?
Well,
let's break it down.
Yeah, so I laughed. I thought that was. I'd really.
You know, I gotta be honest with you, buddy. I'm great. I'm smirking. I'll be real with you. I think it's humorous. I find that humorous.
That's more than most people think, Zach. I'm glad that you can understand.
Well,
All right, the next one comes from Cole Raighard. One day, me and my girlfriend were driving down I-4 and we passed this place called Boardwalk Burgers. You know, one of those run-of-the-mill burger places. Homeless people put stuff on the grill, that sort of stuff. So I told my girlfriend, Boardwalk Burgers, more like board burgers because the burgers aren't having any fun.
Nice. I like how he gave you an accent to it, actually. He says, so I told my girlfriend.
That's a really good joke. Thanks.
That's a good one.
Thanks, Andrew.
Pretty good. We should make a shirt out of
this. Sorry. Ooh, I couldn't contain it.
I stayed up all night last night thinking of that one.
Well, I'll amp this comedy up to 11 here. So this is a true story, and I know it's going to be hard to believe because it just sounds like something you'd only see in science fiction. It really does. I can admit that, but it's real. I can assure you. Happened almost a year ago now. I was driving down I-4 with my girlfriend. I-4 is a road here in my neck of the woods down here in Florida. It's a pretty big road, very popular road. Not a great road by any means.
One of the worst highways in America, if I can interject.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. And I was driving down this clusterfuck of a road, and I saw this sign for a restaurant, Ross. A real restaurant, a real sign. This wasn't no smoke and mirrors hocus pocus. And it said, Boardwalk City Burgers, excuse me. And I said, Boardwalk Burgers, more like board burgers, because those burgers aren't having any fun.
Wow. He gave you a little snicker under his breath. I think that's the biggest reaction you've gotten.
That's perhaps one of the biggest ones. You're welcome. That's the magnum opus of comedy.
So anyway, Charlie, do your joke.
Oh Lord. Oh, I see. If we're well, since he's kept up with a couple of the episodes, and by that I mean one. I can't remember if I told it in that one. Are you familiar with the magnum opus of comedy?
No, tell me.
We didn't tell. I don't think you told Swain it. So
I couldn't remember if I did or not. It's like a fucking blur to me when it happens. Well, Chris, as a successful man and as a man he's been in the field of comedy for a long time, I'm sorry to say that I have found the holy grail of jokes, and it's a true story. Okay. So this happened quite a while ago now, and I was driving down this road called I-4. It's Interstate 4, if you want to know what that stands for. I was driving down this road with my girlfriend. It was after a long, fun, fulfilling day, just a nice little day. And as I was driving down this road, not expecting too much, I saw this sign for a restaurant. Not an out of the ordinary sign or anything, but this sign had some words on it, Chris. And you know what these words said? It said Boardwalk Burgers. Just a little advertisement for your old Boardwalk Burgers place. You know, wholesome family fun, homeless people slapping some patties on the grill, a good, wholesome diner. And you know what, Chris? With my razor sharp wit, I saw this and I said, Boardwalk Burgers, more like board burgers, because those burgers aren't having any fun.
I love shitty jokes.
Your
humor will work completely on me.
He gave you a hearty laugh, but then he had to reiterate that it was shitty.
Yeah, I was
couldn't even let you have it.
My favorite jokes are terrible jokes.
Tell us lay it on.
Charlie's emotions were all over the place then.
Yeah, I felt good for a minute, and then he took it right back down.
Dyrus, on to the next important question. Have you heard Charlie's joke?
Oh, Lord.
No.
Fuck.
Tell it.
Oh, Lord. All right. Well, it's kind of become a tradition around these parts. I developed one of perhaps the most potent jokes in all of comedy. It's almost impossible to at least not elicit a hearty belly laugh. So brace yourself, Dyrus. You're gonna be slapping that knee real hard. And it's a true story too. It sounds like it's some made up sci-fi, but this is a real thing that happened to me.
Makes it funnier.
It's wild. It's just wild.
Okay.
All right, so this was about probably 8 months ago now. And I was driving down this road called I-4. It's the interstate. Pretty popular road, actually. It sees a lot of traffic quite often, a lot of traffic jams. And I was cruising down this road, going the speed limit. I'm not quite rebellious enough to go above that. And as I was driving down I-4, I saw this sign for a restaurant. Nothing particularly special about it, just a standard old restaurant. It was called Boardwalk Burgers. Not too interesting of a name, really. Just, you know, wholesome family diners, homeless people slapping some patties on the foremans. Just a good time, really. And with my razor-sharp wit, I saw that sign. And I said, Boardwalk Burgers. More like board burgers, because those burgers aren't having any fun.
I think he gave you a kiss.
It took me a while to get that one, actually.
Oh, thank God. See, it's a thinking man's joke, yeah.
Yeah. I'm not the fastest person, so...
No, trust me, you got it a lot quicker than some other people. Some people didn't even laugh at all. They just didn't understand it. Yeah.
So a
Someone
shirtless,
you
sexy
haven't
nun.
You haven't heard the best one yet.
Okay, hit me.
Oh, we're starting this early.
Oh, man, we haven't done this in like 10 weeks.
Later? Were these the?
Well, yeah. These are like the aces in the hole right now.
You're blowing your hand right now. Okay.
We haven't done this in like 10 episodes, so you're lucky. You're the lucky one.
We're trying to get some of our audience back, so this is what we do.
Did something happen? Is something?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Can any of us speak today without slurring mercilessly?
Sorry, Charlie? Let's find out.
I guess if I'm taking the center stage here. So this is a true story, Sungwon.
Sure.
I imagine you're a man who can appreciate some top shelf comedy. It's a thinking man's joke, so strap yourself in.
Okay.
This was about a year ago now, and it's still fresh in my mind. It's one of those things you can't forget. I was driving down I-4, which is a popular roadway here in my neck of the woods in Florida. It's a pretty shitty road by all definitions. It's not a good road. There's not a whole lot on it except just pure chaos and hooligans. And I was driving down this road with my girlfriend, and I saw a sign for a restaurant, an innocent-looking restaurant, called Boardwalk Burgers. Wholesome burger joint, homeless people throwing some patties on the foremans. Just really a good time, you know what I'm saying, Sungwon?
Right.
And I saw this sign, and I said, Boardwalk Burgers, more like board burgers, because the burgers aren't having any fun.
Oh, is that's the joke?
That's it. You made it all the way through.
Yeah, okay. So this is the top material then.
The punchline is way over his head, Charlie.
It's all downhill from here.
It is.
Okay.
Yep.
Charlie.
I'm crying. Yeah.
The joke.
What?
Oh god, I'm spitting all over my keyboard.
I was driving down I was driving down I-4 with my girlfriend, and I saw a sign for a restaurant, an innocent-looking restaurant.
Why did I swallow?
Called Boardwalk City Burgers, just a standard Boardwalk Burgers joint. Homeless people slapping patties on the foreman. I think Andrew collapsed.
Fuck!
Andrew,
I'm getting lightheaded.
There he is.
I'm dizzy.
With my razor sharp wit, boys, you're not going to believe what I said.
I need milk.
You won't believe
I need
it.
ambulance.
I swear to God, you won't believe it. So I saw this sign, and I turned to my girlfriend, and I said, Boardwalk Burgers, more like board burgers, because I can't feel my mouth. I really took it home. A little remix there for avid listeners of the podcast.
I'm a milky
Charlie,
boy.
shut your whole mouth.
Charlie, tell me about what's going on with her. How's it going?
I mean, it's going pretty well. I mean, there was this, like you said, there's always that one time you're like, you know what, this might be a keeper. And for me, it was when I was driving down a famous road in the Orlando area called I-4. And we had just finished a really fun day in Orlando. And as we were driving down this really shitty road, I don't know if you've ever been down it, Ethan. It's a horrible road. We were driving down, and I saw this innocent sign for just a wholesome restaurant called Boardwalk Burgers. Nothing out of the norm about it, just a wholesome family joint where some homeless people slap some patties on the foreman. And with my razor-sharp wit, I turn to my girlfriend and I say, Boardwalk Burgers, more like board burgers, because those burgers aren't having any fun. And she didn't laugh, much like you didn't. That's when I knew.
Wow, dude. So, that's okay. I guess there's always one moment.
Mm-hmm. That was when my Gordian knot was cut.
Ooh,
damn,
nice.
I feel it. I'm assuming that's not a true story.
No, as hard as it is to believe, that is a true story. That's not fantasy.
Well, David, have you heard the magnum opus of a joke?
Oh boy.
Our friend Charlie here, he's trying to break into comedy and he's written a joke that he'd like to tell you.
Okay.
Well, I know you're out walking your dog, but if you can find a bench, I'd highly recommend you sit down, because this one's a real humdinger. It's what is widely considered the apotheosis of comedy. I'm going to say right now, you can't steal it for your future stand-ups. It's my golden goose. And it's a true story, which makes it even better. It happened about 1.5 years ago now, and it was in a small city called Orlando in Florida. I was hanging out with my girlfriend. We had just finished a nice night around the town, and we were driving back down this road called I-4. It's a really shitty highway in this area, but it connects Orlando to my hometown, which is Tampa. So we have to drive this road. It's a shitty road. I don't like it. But one thing I noticed while driving this road that night is there was this sign for an innocent restaurant called Boardwalk Burgers. Nothing too out of the ordinary about the restaurant, just your standard, wholesome family burger joint. You have some homeless people slapping the patties on the foremans. Just a good time. Probably good food. I've never eaten there. But I saw that sign. And David, I swear to God, with my razor-sharp wit, I looked at that sign and I said, Boardwalk Burgers. More like board burgers, because those burgers aren't having any fun. Did he hang up?
Yeah, I mean, that's the beauty of a podcast, is you can cut all this out.
Thank you guys so much for having me on.
Yeah, man.
I'm disappointed I didn't get to hear the Boardwalk
Tell
Burgers
him the
joke.
fucking joke, Charlie.
Yeah,
Come on, he's been 2 hours.
Charlie.
He deserves it.
I'm sorry, Quentin.
You have 3 minutes. Do it.
You must not be following J.K. Rowling's Twitter. She says that the joke it's been buried.
Just tell it.
Okay.
How are you being this much of a pussy about it, dude?
Yeah,
Come
why
on.
are you so rude? Just tell the joke.
Oh my lord. Well, Quentin, I'm sure you're familiar with Florida roads by this point in the podcast now. It's there's this little road known as I-4. It's not a little road, it's a long road. And long time ago, Quentin, in a time before magic, I was driving down this road with my girlfriend, and just such an innocent little sign off the side of the road happened to catch my eye. And with a flick of my wand and the quick-wittedness of my mind, I said, well, the name of this joint I feel I should mention was Boardwalk Burgers, Boardwalk City Burgers and Fries. You know, an innocent place, couple of wizards throwing some patties on the grills and cooking up some nice burgers. And I said, with my razor-sharp wit, Quentin, I said, Boardwalk Burgers, more like board burgers, because those burgers aren't having any fun.
Hey, thank you and good night. That is the most genius joke of all time, and I'll tell you why. You throw it away, but you have created something that will last hundreds of years. People will speak your name long after you're dead, because that is brilliant. It's brilliant because they are burgers that are at a restaurant called Boardwalk Burgers, and they are also on a boardwalk, and they are also not having fun, and they are also on a billboard. So they are bored on many ways.
You know what's fucking sad? You know what's fucking sad? That joke's probably going to outlive Fantastic Beasts.